Hey, Nicole,
Hey, Dean.
I have a question, but before I ask you the question, uh, tell folks a little bit about you.
Sure. My name is Nicole Zimmermann. I'm the founder and CEO of Zellison and Partners. And I grew up in Germany, enjoyed, studying marketing and accounting because I thought I might become a CPA, but then fall in love with marketing and off I went into my international marketing career. Did 25 years of corporate with Deutsche Telekom, T-Mobile, and Western Union. And then 4 years ago, I decided actually on the brink of COVID to start my second career, founding my own company, Zellison and Partners, and really providing fractional CMO services and other consulting services to companies in need.
So your company's 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yours, I started at the same time. I'm about to have
Oh,
my fourth anniversary next month.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah,
Oh,
I took a
who
year
knew?
off though, I have to say. I used the opportunity that the world is in pandemic to travel for a year and then I founded my company. But it's June 2022 when we started with our services.
All right. So here's my question. Okay, here's my hypothetical. Oh, it's day one of a 1 year brand new engagement with a brand new client. Now you've had discussions with the client. No one hires a fractional CMO for a year and doesn't even like know who they are on until day one. But now it's day one. Now it's serious, right? Now there's money on the line. When you start with a new engagement, what typically, in your experience, are customers already doing well around marketing, and what are they typically not doing well at all with their marketing?
So I go in as a fractional CMO first and foremost to listen and learn. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's a great point to think about what's actually working and what's not working. So that's actually one of my first questions that I'm asking in an assignment. And it really depends on the company and the industry. It depends on the size. It depends on, do they have already an established marketing team? Do they not have an established marketing team? So let's assume they have a marketing team. I think what I see most is that real strategic thinking and
Mm-hmm.
the vision of where the growth path for the company could lay and how marketing can support this is probably the biggest gap that I'm
Yeah.
identifying.
All right. All right. That's a good answer. Hey, Kimberly.
Hi, Dane.
Kimberly, tell folks a little bit about you, and then I want to ask you a similar question, but not the same question.
Sure, sure. So I'm Kimberly Rose. I'm the founder of Shape Technology. I started my business actually quite a while ago, 1995, as a full service marketing agency. Back when it,
Amazing.
back when integrated marketing was not a thing, but I was trying to brand it. We started with startups, and that's been pretty much my career. Started my career in big companies, worked for Microsoft, big agencies, and really found my love with startups. So my company has kind of morphed. In 2013, I morphed from an agency to a fractional CMO. This is before there was such thing as a fractional CMO.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of early on in branding. I had to explain to everybody what a fractional CMO was that they got a piece of me. So I've been doing fractional CMO work for startup companies. So I go in and my engagements are usually probably 1 to 2 years. And I start very early stage. Most of my clients, I start actually before they've launched. So I've been working
Wow.
in B2B tech and AI for many, many years.
Right. So then, given that you mostly work with startups, when you start, chances are that companies tend to go in sort of four stages for marketing. And I'm not saying all of them reach the final stage; they don't. But they'll start with they're learning to crawl with their marketing, they're learning to walk, they're learning to run, or they're building a rocket. Right. Most of your customers, I guess, are in the learning to crawl, learning to walk stage as far as
Yeah.
dialing in their marketing. All right, that's cool. What do they normally like? What do they normally think they know about marketing that you have to explain that is not really the case?
Honest answer, everything.
Yeah,
So
especially if they're learning to crawl.
I work with a lot of very tech focused founders. Everybody thinks that marketing is easy. They think, well, we'll just hire our marketing person and therefore we have marketing and therefore we have sales. So that's not the case. They don't feel like they have to have involvement. It's more of the philosophy, build it and they will come. And then they don't understand why there needs to be effort, early on in developing messaging and positioning and really understanding the industry, the marketplace, their competitors. It's not just what we say, therefore they're going to buy. And so it's really, really critical for them to understand that, marketing is a skill set.
I was talking
and
to someone. I was talking to someone yesterday, and he was telling me about his first ever sort of big presentation to at a tech startup. And he was like the first marketing person they brought on, a fractional CMO. And at some point, someone stops and says, "Wait. So marketing, like, that's a lot of psychology." And he says,
yeah,
"Okay, clearly, yeah, guys, that's on me. I should have started with that. I assume everyone knew that I have to deal with the psychology of people who don't know you and don't care about you." And they said, "Oh," and then it was like, "Okay, now we don't think we know what you do anymore." And I said,
you
like, "Okay, sometimes like it's so simple that you don't remember to explain to someone. Yeah, you have to like turn the faucet for the water to come out. It doesn't just come out when you put it."
right. Well, it's
Yeah.
interesting that you bring
Yeah,
up the whole psychology end of it. So
yeah,
when I was in college, I took a lot of psychology courses.
yep,
And then I went into marketing. And it's funny to this day, I always say that I can leverage so much of my psychology learnings into marketing.
yeah. Okay, so chances are, especially for many clients, and especially I guess with smaller companies and startups, Kimberly. So let's extend our hypothetical, right? Let's say that I'm the CEO of your client, right? I'm the client CEO, and I say, "Hey, I get that you work with a lot more CEOs than I work with CMOs, and so tell me, what is there something that I should start doing now that you're here that I wasn't doing before, and is there something that I should stop doing now that you're here?"
That's a good question. Are you pertaining to specifically marketing or overall how to work with a
Well, in my
CMO?
experience, chances are if I'm the CEO of a startup or small company, I kind of think I'm in charge of marketing, don't I?
Okay, got it. Got it. I would say one, they need to release the reins to marketing
Yeah.
and know that they've hired somebody who's been doing marketing. They are still very actively involved in helping to, set a clear vision and goals. That needs to go hand in hand. But the empowerment and access to the fractional CMO needs to be there. And the support and trust. That's
Yeah.
very critical. It's not going to work unless they can turn over the reins. They are still actively involved, so it's not that they get a fractional CMO and then it's
Sure.
just completely hands off. To me, because the type of companies I work with, I actually like bringing in the CEO to for a variety of different things because it's more of an educational for them.
Okay. And Nicole, what should a CEO typically start to do once the fractional CMO shows up, or what should they stop doing now that there's a fractional CMO in place?
I think it's very important to, collaborate really on the growth path. I mean, you're bringing now a heavyweight in terms of a very
Right.
experienced marketing executive
Mhm.
with a long-standing track record, probably, highly accolades in terms of the achievements. And so it's really important to collaborate and share really what the CEO's vision for growth for the company is, so that the marketing, the fractional CMO can actually really take that as a vision and then build what the brand positioning, the go-to-market, and the execution and the excellence the team need to look like to actually accomplish that.
All right. Now, I've got a couple of fill in the blank questions for you guys. I really like these because it's really easy for me and puts all the work onto you. Fantastic. Everything I ask should be like this. Okay. So Nicole, finish this sentence for me. Many clients just don't understand what?
That marketing has truly the power to lay the growth path for a company.
Mm-hmm. As in?
As in understanding really that marketing starts with understanding the markets, understanding the competitive environment, as Kimberly said, really understanding the customer needs and how the product actually fits the customer needs. And on that base, really develop the go-to-market plan, which feeds into how sales needs to go to market as well. I'm a strong believer actually that marketing is a little bit underrated in terms of its influence and power that it can have if you truly understand it. And so I have always lived in my CMO roles in corporations, really the idea of driving that growth plan and that growth strategy with sales together and infusing this knowledge about customers, markets, and competitions to sales, very much in terms of how then marketing with its marketing mix can support really sales being successful and building these relationships with prospects and with existing customers for more retention, more loyalty.
And Kimberly, what do you think? Many clients just don't understand what?
That branding and lead gen go hand in hand. I see a lot of companies that they can do one or the other. And I can't tell you how many times I have educated people. You can't have one without the other. It's like rolling, it's like pushing a rock uphill.
All right. Okay, so Kimberly, here's a new hypothetical. You're on stage, right? You're the speaker. The audience are, everyone in the audience became a fractional CMO today. It's their first day as fractional CMO. Finish this sentence for me. You guys are going to be shocked by what?
I would say the position companies are at when they bring you in.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it depends on, the growth, where the stage of the company is. And I would say second thing is being a fractional CMO is not easy. It's not you're just going to go in and do all strategy. It's you're rolling your sleeves up. You're rolling your sleeves up and you're having to make a big difference very quickly. It's not you come in and you have days, months, years to make a difference. The company expects you, as they're paying for a fractional CMO, to make a difference day one.
Yeah, my whole business is like selling to fractional CMOs because they need to make an impression really fast.
Absolutely.
I really rely on that problem that you guys have. I love that.
Yeah. Yes.
and Nicole, so you're talking to a bunch of fractional CMOs. It's their first day. And so you say, you guys are going to be, when it comes to being a fractional CMO, you guys are going to be shocked by this. What is this?
What you will uncover in terms of the opportunities that you as fractional CMOs with your experience can actually form and deliver for the companies.
Okay. Now, Nicole, I'm going to ask you the overrated question, and then I'm going to ask Kimberly the underrated question. So, Kimberly, Nicole, you're talking to lots of clients, you're talking to lots of companies, right?
Yes.
Most of them think they know something or everything about marketing, and they want to do X or they believe in X. What's something that companies tend to want to do or believe about marketing that you think is very overrated?
To be on every social media channel possible out there.
Yeah.
Totally, yes.
Why is that?
Because I think it really depends on where we started at the beginning. So what's your market? What's your customer segment? Many companies are not having the luxury to serve products that are addressing the young generation that is on social media all day long. So if you have a different generational customer segment, you need to think about how are you reaching them through your marketing, your communication, and your distribution channels. And that looks totally different. And so I think everyone thinks that social media is the selling machine. And I think that is totally overrated.
And Kimberly, you talk to a lot of clients, you talk to a lot of companies about marketing. What do you think they don't pay enough attention to what kind of tool or channel or platform or concept is totally underrated, and people would do well if they paid attention to it?
I would say creating a personal brand. There's one thing that companies think they could just put out information, on the social platforms, just about the company. We have the greatest,
Right. Without a personality to attach it to.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I've had these conversations with founders, and it's again, because I deal with early stage companies, but to me, it's any stage company. The founders have to create their personal brand, and they absolutely do not want to do that. They don't want to put the effort into it. So therefore they think that, marketing can just create content and pump it out for the company.
Mm.
And it doesn't work that way. We really need to establish the credibility for the company, and that stems from usually the founders.
Okay. And my last fill in the blank question for both of you. Clients don't seem to understand that when it comes to talking to the marketplace, what? Kimberly, you go first.
Talking to the marketplace. To really understand their customer needs. It's not just we do this, so therefore you're going to buy. What is that customer pain point that you're filling?
And Nicole, what do you think? Something that companies don't tend to understand when it comes to talking to a marketplace?
I think it's actually the combination and the power of the classic marketing 4 Ps. So how does actually price, place, promotion, and product need to be in sync to actually make an impact in the marketplace, with understanding where your positioning is versus your competitor's positioning. But I think understanding the marketing mix is something people always think, oh, we are leading with price, or we have a unique product, and
Right.
that will sell on its own. We don't need a lot of promotion. And I think it's really making them understand the combination. And I have a lot of conversations with my clients about how that then differs, even when you think about you want to enter, the US market, or you want to enter certain states in the US that might even differ, or you want to go to Canada, or you want to go to Mexico. What does that actually really mean in terms of your 4P marketing mix?
All right. You guys, I love these answers. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's wind it down. Nicole, who should be contacting you these days, and how should they do it?
So my focus area with my fractional CMO work is at the moment to really help companies expand and lay their growth foundations. So I think I can add the most value to companies that have already an established product. So I'm not like Kimberly in the very early stage startups. I'm probably more in your scale up phase for startups, where they are at the brink of really making that accelerated leap into growth, accelerated growth. And that's where I think my background and my skill set can help the most to really build the brand, to really form the go-to-market strategy and execution plan, and then help them really from a digital marketing perspective to reach far audiences, not only offline but online.
And what's the best way to get to you?
Through Zellocin.com, right here in the name tag.
All right. So ZELOCIN for folks who are on the audio side.
Yes.
And then
Zellocin.
Kimberly, how about you? Who should get in contact with you these days, and what's the best way to do that?
So I would say my sweet spot is early stage companies. So I've worked with pre-seed, but probably seed is better, seed to Series A. Tech companies, B2B, and I start very early. So one thing that I do stress is I usually do come into companies way before they're launched. Last year I was working with a client. I started with them 9 months before they were launched. I went all the way back from a product perspective. So I'm not your normal marketing person. I do everything from product marketing to even working really closely with the tech founder on doing beta testing, et cetera. So I would say, reach out anytime. You don't have to be a month before launch. So
At shapetechmarketing.com.
correct.
All right. All right. Thanks to both of you. This has been great. Thanks for everyone who's watching, although you're probably watching it on a clip, so I don't even know if you're going to see this part of me saying goodbye. So be it. I'll defer to the TikTok and LinkedIn and YouTube algorithms for that. But thanks both of you for being here, and thanks for watching, and we'll see everyone next time. Bye.
Thank you for having us.